and what they call controversial moves by the university for the second day in a row.
That's right. UCO's president is saying more than 40 faculty positions could be cut. Some students say they are also protesting the university's potential promotion of theater professor Cato Buss, who is accused of sexually harassing 6 former theater students. UCentral's Jonathan Richardson was at the protest and has more on what students are saying.
To reiterate what I said in the open forum on March 24th, the number that has been shared is 40+ full-time equivalent faculty positions. There has not been an exact number determined yet.
With misinformation, students continue to protest. Logan Boyd, a UCO student, has been adamant in leading this protest and shares some of his release statement he wrote about the budget.
UCentral News did some digging into the faculty handbook today regarding the question of how the Cato Buss situation could be handled.
It is a complicated topic. A portion of the handbook which governs dismissal of tenured faculty does incorporate language regarding moral issues and acts which demonstrate unfitness to be a faculty member. We also reached out to the president's office. A spokesperson said at the same time the faculty handbook does not specify a zero tolerance policy. And an abundance of students have been attending the protests over the past few days in support of their teachers. However, it takes leaders to get everyone together. UCentral's Garrett Holsworth sat down with organizer Logan Boyd about the protests.
And thank you, Logan, so much for being here. Clearly, you've had a busy day being kind of the media spokesperson for the entire day, but can you kind of explain to everyone what your role has been with this protest?
Right, so I'm one of the student organizers for the protest. I'm just an advocate for students to speak through me to the president, so that way the president can hear our concerns.
And what's kind of your motive behind, why are you one of the organizers right now?
Faculty have expressed their concerns about losing their jobs, and I've seen faculty members lament over the fact that they might lose their job, and I've even seen some of them cry over the fact that they may lose their job, and so that really rung a chord with me, and that's why I jumped in and decided to help.
And what kind of teacher-student unification have you seen since this movement started recently?
It's amazing to see the faculty and students come together on this issue. It's an open secret that the faculty supports us 100%. And it's just something that really, really brings a tear to my eye. I've actually cried happy tears over the fact that this is happening.
And just recently, the president released a video response to the protests, kind of trying to fix some misinformation and talk to the students themselves. Kind of, do you think that responded appropriately to the protests themselves, or?
I would say that it's a political move. It's something that I expected the president to do. She has a whole PR team of people that advise her on what she should and should not do in situations like this. So it's no surprise that a video was released with that content to kind of get ahead of us and try to separate our movement from the student body and the faculty as well. But we need to be united on this issue.
Aside from politics, do you think there's real change already being made in the administration, or do they seem to be pretty stagnant right now?
I think that we have definitely begun to light that fire underneath the administration, and we need to continue to emblazon it. So.
And then what kind of impacts are you hoping to see at the end of the day with this protest?
I would like to see no one lose their jobs, and I think that is a resounding sentiment across the board. I don't think anyone wants to see people lose their jobs. So I would like to see that first and foremost, and every other issue that we have students protesting for will be addressed as well.
You did mention you're getting to speak to the Faculty Senate tomorrow, correct?
I will actually be speaking with the president herself along with my other organizers tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
And what are you hoping to accomplish there?
I'm hoping to open the door for communication with our administration and really start a conversation on what we can do to fix these issues.
Okay, well, thank you, Logan. I'm Garrett Holsworth, and back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Garrett. And news of the budget cuts has spread across several social media sites. Our social media specialist Tyler Whitehead has the latest on what's being said. Tyler, what do you have?
Thanks, MC, and that's right. People have taken their concerns of these budget cuts to social media. The protests have garnered the attention of Democrat candidate of Oklahoma's House of Representatives, Gregory Hardin II. In a quote tweet, he stated, "The state legislature alone is responsible for the underfunding of our state's universities. Funding for our state colleges is going to be a huge issue for me when I'm elected," end quote. Many other organizations and past and present UCO students have shared their opinions on the protests. We will keep you updated with any new information regarding the UCO budget cuts.
Thank you, Tyler. And students are continuing to make their voices heard with yet another student-led protest tomorrow. Students will be gathering at the Chickasaw Plaza at 12 p.m. and they will be ringing a bell for every faculty member that will be cut. We will keep you updated with this story as we found out more information. You can find previous coverage over the budget cuts online at ucentralmedia.com.
And the Biden administration extends the federal student loan repayment pause for the third time. UCentral's Logan Gassett has more on the story.
The pause on federal student loan repayments has been extended again through August 31st instead of the set expiration of May 1st. This repayment freeze put in place by the Biden administration has created a fresh start for many students and adults.
For some people, you know, they went to college, they tried it, and it wasn't right for them. They found a different career path that's better, or something that worked better with their life, or maybe they go back to college at some other point, but they're still carrying along the student debt without the college degree to go with it. And so relieving that debt is incredibly helpful.
Some, however, see more cons than pros to this repayment freeze.
I definitely feel like there's a lot more cons than there are pros. What about the people who took out their student loans just for money to spend that didn't even need them to pay for their school?
President Joe Biden disclosed on Wednesday that we are still recovering from the pandemic and the unprecedented economic disruption it has caused. That same Wednesday, the Department of Education said if federal student loan borrowers are unable to make payments after the pause is lifted, an income-driven repayment plan is available to those eligible. For more information about the payment pause, visit studentaid.gov.
Thank you, Logan. And it has yet again been a really windy day. I actually saw a few showers earlier today. MC, what's going on?
That's right, Eden. We did see some showers earlier today, but all we're going to see is dry weather and warm temperatures coming our way. Let's go ahead and look at the current weather conditions here on campus. 60 degrees is the big number on the screen. Mostly cloudy. Now, the biggest thing that I want us to worry about is the winds. We have the winds coming in northwest from 30 miles per hour, but the gusts are reaching 43 miles per hour. So very, very strong. That rain that came really didn't do anything for us. It's pretty dry out there still right now. We are in a red flag warning. We're going to get more into that. But right now, humidity is sitting at 23%. Let's go ahead and look at the temperatures across the state. Now we're getting 60s and 50s. 60s here in southern Oklahoma, 150 right here in McAllister. Probably went up to 60 by now. Then 60 up in Guyman, but then there's 50s in northern Oklahoma. Now the headlines for today is what we're going to talk about next. High wind and red flag warning. Basically what that means is that it's dry and it's windy. That can cause some fire risk. Just like I said right here, elevated fire risk. Right now we're in the extreme levels of a fire risk. So make sure you guys are being careful. Those cigarette butts, if you're driving on dry grass or anything like that, if you see a fire or any smoke, make sure you're reporting it. And of course, stay up to date with your local weather station. Now, the temperatures will continue to rise going into next week. Going all the way till Monday, we could see all the way up to maybe 90 degrees. And then going into Tuesday and Wednesday, that temperature will go down due to that rain and possible thunderstorms next week. Now, that's all I have for you. Make sure you guys stay tuned for my full forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, MC. And today, Ketanji Brown Jackson makes history as the first black woman to be confirmed to the Supreme Court. UCO's Political Science Department will host a roundtable on Monday discussing the historic moment. UCentral's Cameron Forrell has more on what we can expect.
Earlier today, Ketanji Brown Jackson was officially nominated to the United States Supreme Court. UCO will be hosting a roundtable discussion on her nomination that will be open to anyone in the UCO and Edmond community to attend. Keith Akins, a professor in the Political Science Department, describes what to expect on Monday.
Academic roundtable panel discussion where I'll serve as the moderator, and how we'll proceed is I will have all the other four panelists each kind of give an opening statement, and I've given them possible topics upon which they could speak.
With such an important event being addressed, as well as the recent confirmation vote, students will be discussing a multitude of topics regarding Judge Jackson.
The significance of the nomination, how it may affect the court, how it may affect the legal landscape, all of these factors, as well as their own personal reflections on Judge Jackson being appointed to the court.
The event is being promoted as not a quote-unquote love fest for Judge Jackson, inviting any person to attend and share their viewpoints on the story.
I mean, this isn't intended to be a love fest for Judge Jackson. I definitely think she's well qualified personally. But kind of what the focus is just what her impact will be. How will she impact the law? How will she impact the dynamics of the court? I mean, she's replacing a moderate liberal.
Jackson has officially made history as the first black woman to become a judge on the Supreme Court. The roundtable discussion will be held in the Liberal Arts Lecture Hall from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on Monday. From Edmond, Oklahoma, I'm Cameron Forrell, UCentral News.
Thanks, Cameron. And don't forget, priority enrollment is open. Students with 60 or more credit hours can enroll today. You can see the times on your screen. And if you don't know how many credit hours you have, don't worry. More information is on UConnect under registration.
And a heads up, UCO's technology office says various systems will be unavailable Sunday from 5 a.m. to noon. Now, they did not clarify which systems will be affected. And after the break, I will have your full forecast. Don't go anywhere.
Back and change it all. I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah! Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
In the land of wonder and awe, you won't believe you see what you saw. Where there's something to do for young and for old, where stories are written and then they're retold. Visit travelok.com today. Come see for yourself and come out to play.
Welcome back, Bronchos. I'm MC, your weather anchor. Let's go ahead and get into your weather headlines for today. Weather headlines is high wind and red flag warning. Like I said earlier, it's dry out there and those winds are getting very, very up into the 40s for the gusts. So make sure you guys are being careful. Stay tuned to your local weather station. Be careful with any fires if you're doing anything today. Just be weather aware, of course. Just like I said, elevated fire risk. Right now we're in the extreme levels. So if you do have to evacuate, make sure you're ready for that. Report any smoke or fires that you see. And of course, stay up to date with your local weather station. Temperatures will be continuing to rise, so this fire risk might not stop for us anytime soon, going later into the weekend and further into the week, but we will have some possible thunderstorm chances next week, Tuesday night going into Wednesday, and they could be severe, but we're not 100% just yet. Now let's look at the temperature right now on campus. 60 degrees, mostly cloudy outside, very cloudy, but that doesn't mean anything. Just like I said, those winds northwest, coming in from the northwest, 35 miles per hour, but those gusts is the biggest thing, 43 miles per hour. I know I saw a few people trying to catch their doors, trying to get out their car, so make sure you guys are being careful with that. Humidity is sitting at 23%, and now your temperatures across the state, nothing too big going on right now. We got some 60s in southern Oklahoma, 59 down in McAllister, and then some 50s in northern Oklahoma. Now for tonight, the temperature will get down to 42 degrees, clear skies. Just like I said, go outside, go to the country. I know I might go see my grandparents in a little bit because I don't have class on Friday, and go look at the stars, you know, have a good time because the temperatures are going to go up further into the weekend. Now for tonight, northwest wind coming in at 22 miles per hour, and then then humidity sitting at 21%, excuse me, but no chance of rain. Now the temperatures across the state for tonight, we're going to see 30s and 40s. 42 here in the metro, then 30s here in southern Oklahoma, 41 down in Idabel. We're going to see 30s in northern Oklahoma and then 41 in Tulsa as well. Now the temperatures across the state for tomorrow, we're going to see 60s and 70s. 60s mostly in Oklahoma. The only 70 we're going to have is in Altus right down there. So it's going to be pretty warm, but those gusts and winds are going to still be in the 30s to the 40s range. Now the daily forecast for tomorrow, starting at 7 a.m., 42 degrees, is going to be sunny outside, very cloudy going into noontime. Sun will be out, but just like today, it's going to be very, very windy. So make sure you guys be careful with that. Then 7 p.m., clear skies again, 61 degrees. Now this is my 7-day forecast. Like I said, going into the weekend, we're going to see that temperature go all the way up. On Sunday, fun day, to be 84 degrees. Monday, we'll see the temperature drop down to 81, but on Tuesday, that's when we're going to see that chance of the temperature going up to almost 90 degrees. Then that chance of rain, 20% Tuesday night. Then Wednesday, same thing, 20% chance of rain. But both those days, it will be mostly sunny. Of course, there might be some clouds in sight. Now, that's all I have, and that's all I have right now. Make sure you guys stay tuned for our social media right after the break.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, such a weirdo, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome to your social media update. I'm Tyler Whitehead. It's hashtag National Beer Day, but a brewing company in Norman has caused discussion on gender equity in Oklahoma. Equity Brewing has released a statement called "Don't Call Me Sweetheart" after an incident where a patron used inappropriate language to the workers. When prompted to leave, the group associated with the patron defended him and used the defense saying, quote, "Well, this is Oklahoma and this has never been a problem at other breweries," end quote. The brewery made the statement to be resistant when prompted with inappropriate language. Equity Brewing is an all-woman-owned business and has events happening tonight and this weekend about equity. And a new landmark has been added to the Manhattan skyline. The world's skinniest skyscraper, Steinway Tower, has been completed and is opening its doors for new residents. The tower will include 60 apartments across 84 stories. It sits at approximately 1,400 feet tall and is one of the tallest buildings in the Western Hemisphere. The building is an addition to the historic Steinway Hall, which was built in 1925. And a well-known band is releasing their first new music in over 3 decades. Pink Floyd is joining alongside a Ukrainian singer from the band Boombox to raise money for the people of Ukraine. The song "Hey Hey Rise Up" features the Ukrainian singer singing a patriotic Ukrainian song performed in front of Kiev's St. Sophia Cathedral. The song will be released tomorrow, and the band says proceeds will go to the Ukraine Humanitarian Relief Fund. And another return is making its way on streaming platforms tomorrow.
Win back the internet. Hit me. No bad ideas.
iCarly is returning online tomorrow for its second season of the Revival series. Paramount Plus will have the first 2 episodes released, which is set to pick up where the first season left off. This season will see the return of many characters like Lubert and Guppy. You can stream this series exclusively on Paramount Plus tomorrow. And I'm going to go ahead and toss it back to MC at the desk.
And Aaron recaps day 1 of the Masters and gives updates on Tiger Woods. Coming up right after this.
Back and change it all. I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah! Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
In the land of wonder and awe, you won't believe you see what you saw. Where there's something to do for young and for old, where stories are written and then they're retold. Visit travelok.com today. Come see for yourself and come out to play.
Welcome back, Bronco fans. I'm Aaron Gelvin, and this is your Thursday Sports Update. The Oklahoma City Thunder fell last night on the road against the Utah Jazz as they lost by a score of 137 to 101. Jalen Horde led the Thunder in scoring with 23 points, while Utah's Rudy Gobert tallied a double-double of 20 points and 10 rebounds. The Thunder fell to 24-56 on the season and have just 2 games left in the year, both in Los Angeles. They play the Lakers tomorrow night and the Clippers on Sunday night. OKC is angling for a top pick in this year's draft, and fans hope they can add a player that can get them back into the postseason in the years to come. And from the hardwood to the diamond, today marks opening day for Major League Baseball as the league's 30 teams begin their regular season on a slight delay after a lockout that lasted for a good portion of the offseason, 99 days to be exact, and had many of the game's fans thinking there would be a condensed season or even no season at all. In the end, though, the players and owners were able to agree, and the fans are happy to have baseball back. The Atlanta Braves are the defending champs and will begin their title defense against the Cincinnati Reds tonight. Young phenom Shohei Ohtani and the Los Angeles Angels will open up against the Houston Astros. And it's a tradition unlike any other. The Masters began today at Augusta National in Augusta, Georgia. Australian Cameron Smith is finished with his first round and currently is in a 3-way tie for the lead after an excellent first day on the course. And the biggest story of all is Tiger Woods returning to major play after a horrible car accident nearly 14 months ago. It was thought by many that Tiger would never golf at this high of a level again after the wreck, but his comeback became complete as he took the course this morning. Tiger was particularly impressive on hole 1, shooting an even par on a hole that he was plus 16 on in his career coming in. And Woods' comeback has sparked even more interest in the Masters than usual, and here he talks about his expectations for the tournament.
The question is simple. Do you think you can win the Masters this week?
I do.
And what have you seen in your preparation that leads you to believe that?
Well, I can hit it just fine, and I don't
have any qualms about what I can do physically from a golf standpoint. It's now walking is the hard part.
There's no doubt that Tigers play will be followed very closely over the next 3 days. And that's everything I have for sports tonight. Have a great night, Edmond, and we'll toss it back to Eden and MC at the desk.
Thank you, Aaron, and we will have more news and weather after this, so stay with us.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
We experienced some technical difficulties earlier with our story over today's protests.
That's right. UCO students let their voices be heard today at Old North with a second day of protests. UCentral's Jonathan Richardson was there and has the latest on what students are saying.
President Newhold Ravikumar has made a statement to make budget cuts for faculty and staff within the next couple of months.
To reiterate what I said in the open forum on March 24th, the number that has been shared is 40+ full-time equivalent faculty positions. There has not been an exact number determined yet.
With misinformation, students continue to protest. Logan Boyd, a UCO student, has been adamant in leading this protest and shares some of his release statement he wrote about the budget.
The last thing any of us want to see is the termination of faculty members who have substantially impacted the UCO community. I encourage you to have conversations with your peers regarding this letter and to listen to your department students.
A lot of people don't work well in larger class sizes. A lot of people require a more condensed environment to get that learning because larger class spaces can induce anxiety, just like virtual classes can induce anxiety. Not to mention with the budget cuts and all of these things, I already pay over $15,000 a semester, and they won't even give me free printing.
A sexual assault allegation against UCO's professor, Cato Buss, is also a deep concern for students.
We have a lack of transparency with the funds. Patty yesterday was completely dancing around questions.
The call for transparency around this issue has to be separated from what is permissible to share. I am bound by the laws of our state, not by people's desire to know more.
If you could say anything to President Newhold Ravikumar, what would you say to her?
I spoke to President Patty yesterday, and I asked her about why Cato Buss was up for promotion, but the teacher who actually fights for us is down for demotion, and she told me she would prefer a zero-tolerance policy involving sexual misconduct. After reviewing said policy, we do have a zero-tolerance policy. I think I know the handbook better, and I think you should do your research.
This is a major issue for all students at UCO, and we will continue to keep you updated. From Old North, Jonathan Richardson, UCentral News.
And thank you, Jonathan, for that package. Again, UCentral did some digging into the faculty handbook today regarding the question of how the Cato Buss situation could have been handled.
And it is a very complicated topic. A portion of the handbook which governs dismissal of tenured faculty does incorporate language regarding moral issues and acts which demonstrate unfitness to be a faculty member.
We also reached out to the president's office. A spokesperson said at the same time the faculty handbook does not specify a zero tolerance policy. You can find this story and others online at UCentralmedia.com.
Well, that is all the time that we have today for UCentral. Thank you for joining us. I'm Eden Jones.
I'm MC. Have a good night, Edmond.